Produced on a paltry budget of only $10,000 by independent filmmaker James Nigel, this Alfred Hitchcock-inspired romantic horror film saw limited release in October of 2008, before becoming a cult hit on home video. The extremely poorly made 92-minute feature begins with a long and boring credit sequence that embarrassingly even includes a spelling mistake. The plot, which almost appears to have been filmed in sequence, features an awkward Alan Baugh and the attractive Whitney Moore, who lead a group of survivors during an unexplained deadly bird invasion outside of San Jose, California. Filmed with jerky follow pans, the unrated movie breaks every fundamental rule of filmmaking, with no regard for basic continuity. Afraid of using L-cuts, editor Kim Chow sticks only to vanilla edits that are so poorly timed you could drive a double-decker bus through them, only accentuating the abysmal performances and unrealistic behavior by the undeveloped cast.
Howdy.
Hi.
Can you sell me some gas for my truck?
Sorry, but we need it.
You can sell me some gas now.
Oh, take it easy, take it easy. I got an extra tank in the back.
Good, get it.
Obviously recorded from a low-quality onboard mic, this movie seriously features the worst audio I've heard in my entire life. Nearly every scene includes random pockets of silence, inaudible dialogue, abrupt changes in room tone, all of it backed by a soundtrack that sounds like a rejected MIDI file from the 1980s. Nigel, meanwhile, is seemingly obsessed with photographing a rented Ford Mustang, and footage that has worse lighting than an iPhone. The story has no grasp on reality. The progression of nonsensical events feels like it was written by a prepubescent boy who just found 3 foot of dolly track and needlessly included the repeating camera move throughout. Still frames and pointless dissolves bookend nearly every sequence, many of which are not only head-shakingly awful, but entirely redundant, repeating many images, like that of a bird being shot out of the sky several times over. A bizarrely irrelevant eco-friendly message that cautions about global warming is bluntly forced into the stupid plot late, as if to explain away the presence of the extremely fake-looking flying creatures. Not appearing until over 45 minutes in, the birds are just plastered over the scenery without so much as basic motion tracking, ensuring the laughable effects prevent any plausibility of tension or realism. Even the end credits are mostly fake, as Nigel thought adding a bunch of made-up people would make the film look more professional. It doesn't. The only thing scary in this so-called horror film is that it somehow exists at all. With no purpose, reasoning, or resolution, this badly paced movie is one you regret watching immediately. But it's somehow endearing for how honest and terrible it is. You almost feel bad for the folks involved. The incompetent crew clearly had good intentions, but didn't know the first damn thing about making a movie. At least Mrs. Moore is hot in a bikini though, right? Birdemic, shock and terror. So inexcusably bad, it's impressive. Well, those are my harsh words. Now let's see what you had to say about this film in the YouTube comments. Let's bring in the Rate-O-Matic, which I suppose tonight will be more like the Hate-O-Matic, with our scores for Birdemic, Shock and Terror. 2 1s. Lamenting over the awkward acting, but citing the laughable effects as unintentionally entertaining, you thought this movie was garbage. Far too boring to truly qualify as so bad it's good fare. I have to agree, I rate it as garbage as well.